Clark, even though obviously they would have won if she would have shot the ball well. My whole thing is you were up when Caitlin Clark wasn't shooting the ball well. You had a double-digit lead in that first half while Caitlin Clark was clanking every single three. She was 2 for 9 from the field, and you were still confidently beating this Aces team. The reason you lost was not because Caitlin Clark didn't score the basketball. The reason you lost is because you stopped doing what was working, what worked for the Indiana Fever.
Stephanie White was just thrown by Lin Dunn. Fever fans and right beneath the bus are completely going crazy, right? Right now, Indiana's front office drama just achieved a whole new messy level. And this might completely alter the course of future plans for Caitlin Clark. This circumstance is far larger than you may imagine. What do you consider the turmoil in the front office impacting the way in which coaches use their star gamers? So, people, here we are once more. And this needs to be broken down by your boy. Complete circus that is taking place in Indianapolis at the moment. Lin Dunn simply went crazy on social media. And allow me to tell you something. When the front desk coaches are being called out by CEOs, when you know the ship in public is actually absorbing water. Now, let's be careful before we go into this quagmire. Truthful about what has been taking place with the Fever squad. Everyone believed they were going to compete for a title this year following the introduction of all these players with experience. The Fever's objective, athletes with extensive playoff experience, such as Sophie, Natasha Howard, and Dana Bonner, Cunningham and Carlson, Sydney. Sounds fantastic on paper, isn't it? False. This group has been less reliable than a dial-up 2003 internet connection.
Thing is what we have to do as a staff to get her better looks, like higher quality looks. Every game plan is going to be to make her score inside the three-point line, right? And the different ways that they're going to do that: physicality, coverage, showing bodies, all the different things. And we have to do a better job of getting her higher quality looks. I'm not worried about Caitlin's shot.
Here, the true problem isn't only discussing victories and defeats. It concerns how Caitlin Clark is being used by them. And it's becoming absurd, really. Your offense is the most dynamic participant in the league. Someone who independently altered the state of basketball for women. And what is the job of Stephanie White? She takes the ball from her grasp and dashes this way. Dull motion offense that results in it seems fun to watch paint dry.
Real big fan of what she's already been able to accomplish in the spotlight. Tremendous spotlight. And I also think that she's going to adjust to the pros better than people think she is. Everybody wondered if Aaliyah Boston would, and look what she did. Aaliyah had good strength when she came in. She came from an outstanding program. She was smart. She had great work ethic, and Clark has all of that too. When you watch Clark, you think, how does she hit those threes from the logo? How does she make those great passes? She's physically strong. She's got great strength in her legs, in her core, and in her hands. And so I'm expecting her to have an impact on the WNBA.
Permit me to tell me more about this, please. Motion offense bullshit. It's essentially a structure in which everyone stands. The ball is passed back and forth until I hope someone opens up. It's the offensiveness to your nephew's middle. When they don't know, the school squad runs. What further can be done? The issue arises when you possess a person similar to Caitlin Clark on your team. Executing a motion offense is comparable to purchasing a Ferrari and using it exclusively in the parking lot of the church. Do you recall Clark's actions at Iowa? She ran where she was in a read and react offense. The engine, the main decision maker. That enabled everything to function. In their recent victory over the Liberty between her scoring and assists, she accounted 454 of the points scored by the Fever. That's what occurs when you genuinely allow the women should focus on their strengths rather than putting her in a cookie-cutter system. However, this is where things really get hot. Lin Dunn, who allegedly relocated to a position as a senior advisor, which seems like business jargon for what we're trying to you aside but don't want you to quit, determined that she had had enough. She made a post on social media regarding the unpredictability. Gamers to perform actions that you don't practice drill. No, superficially. That seems like typical coaching knowledge, but when you look past the lines, she is obviously throwing disparage Stephanie White's handling of this group. This post's timing is why it's so clear. This arrived immediately following yet another disappointing performance in which the transgression was perceived lost, with players gathered around, uncertain of what to do. Caitlin Clark appeared impatient as he attempted to make in a system something occurs that is not in line with her skill set. It is similar to seeing an attempt to fit a square peg into a round hole. Finally, there will be a break. Additionally, let's discuss what the fans have to say, due to the fact that they are not holding back. 1. A fan immediately inquired as to why they provided $180,000 for Katie Lou Samuelson. The fans are turning, another observed. Not in opposition to Stephanie White. Informal observers. These are the individuals who purchase tickets, who attend all games. Those who have been backing this franchise endure years of mediocrity. When they begin interrogating the coach at this early stage, it's a greater red flag in the season. The one they wave at NASCAR races is different. The annoying thing is that this was all foreseeable. Some of us referred to this as precise circumstance months ago. We stated that Caitlin Clark was taken and made to was intended to be a motion offensive catastrophe. We advised against taking the most imaginative and lively playmaker in basketball and make her into just an additional cog in the machine. However, is the thing that truly excites me about this. The entire circumstance. Stephanie White was penalized for critiquing officiating, however. Perhaps she ought to worry more about. She is in charge of the offensive more than the referees. You're curious about what's causing the pain. This squad? It's not the referees. The fact that the prime is being wasted. Years of a talent that spans generations because they wish to demonstrate their superior intelligence to everyone else. Let's examine the figures. As statistics don't lie. Indiana's. With Clark on, the offensive rating is 107.5, 82.2 and the floor in 20 minutes with her off it. That's a difference of 25 points. Do you know what that indicates? It indicates that Caitlin is the conduit for this squad. Clark. Additionally, if you remove her from the formula or restrict her influence, anything disintegrates. The motion infraction is intended to generate player mobility and responses, but what it actually produces is misunderstandings and lost chances. When there is a person who can see the court, such as Clark, who is able to make passes that other gamers are unable to comprehend. Why would you like to remove that? It's such like bringing Steph Curry into your squad and letting him know that he can only fire from the don't even understand me free throw line. Began by removing the ball from the philosophy of Caitlin's hands. This isn't someone who is new to the game and has to learn it. This individual was responsible for guiding Iowa back to support national championship events, who broke scores, who created women's Basketball TV appointment. If something isn't broken, don't fix it. Apparently, Stephanie White was unaware of it. The worst part of all of this is, Lin Dunn understands what a championship is. Basketball appears. She participated in, when the Fever triumphed, the coaching staff. All in 2012, and she knows what it measures to create a successful culture. When someone with that type of encounter begins to wonder what's happening, you had better listen. This is much more annoying because that other teams are figuring out how to effectively use their best players. Examine the actions taken by Las Vegas with AIA Wilson or the actions taken by New York with Sabrina. Their systems are based on their superior players, not the reverse. They are aware that having an elite talent, you make the most of it. Don't downplay it. The Fever had everything. Very ambitious ideas entering the season. Clark previously informed reporters. The opener for Indiana that she anticipated was to attempt to win a title. However, how will you capture a title while you're not even making efficient use of your greatest player? It's like as attempting to win the Indy 500 with a speed restriction. In addition, let's talk about titles. Future implications. The WNBA it's more competitive than ever before. The Liberty appears to be in control of you. The Aces are deadly no matter what, and teams like Connecticut and Las Vegas know how to prevail. If the Fever wish to participate, they must cease using those teams. Being cautious and beginning to play inherent advantages. The motion offense may be effective for certain teams, however this is a team that was created, not just any team. Centered on a once-in-a-generation artist who can use a single pass to alter the outcome of the game. Or shot. When that type of you don't make them match your needs. Gamer. System. Your system is based on them. What's more worrisome is all of this drama's timing. Stephanie White separated from the group recently to take care of personal affairs. Personal concerns are now personal matters, and I won't make any assumptions regarding a person's personal life. However, when your coach is juggling personal issues, problems when your front desk is openly challenging your tactics, that isn't precisely a formula for success. This is not good enough for the fans. They have endured years of reconstruction, years of disillusionment. Having watched this franchise for years struggle to determine who it is. Ultimately, they gain a player with the ability to change, who is able to make them relevant once more. And rather than accepting that, the company appears committed to think too much about it. This isn't simply about strategy for basketball. It's about philosophy of the organization. Do you believe that your top player will make plays, or do you make an effort to manage doing it all from the sidelines? Modify your system to suit your skills, or do your talent must adjust to your system? These are basic inquiries that each prosperous company possesses to provide the right response. The fact that we're watching is the worse. This is happening right now, and it feels like seeing a car crash in slow motion. The issues are visible to you, the answers, but for some reason those in authority appear committed to making this more difficult than necessary. Lin Dunn's post may appear to be a minor item, a few remarks on social media. However, it stands for something far more significant. It symbolizes a break in the structure, a lack of coherence in the vision, as well as a basic disagreement regarding the application of the most crucial player in the history of the franchise. Let's go on to the juicy part. A component of this entire scenario. The Connecticut-Sun connection. Keep that in mind, Stephanie. White recently left his position as Sun coach, where she performed the identical gesture. Offense that is the subject of all the complaints. Roughly, it was successful for the Sun. Yes, but their staff was different. Caitlin Clark was not with them. Lacked a person who could organize an offense on your own and improve everyone in her vicinity. Yet, when White visits Indiana, he attempts to use the same framework that she did in Connecticut, totally disregarding the given that she now possesses the most dynamic league point guard. It's comparable to a chef who can only prepare, attempting to prepare pasta with Wagyu meat. You're throwing away expensive ingredients by considering them to be something routine. The motion offense theory. It's centered on equality and ensuring everybody makes contact with the ball, roughly, giving role players opportunity. That sounds democratic and pleasant, but basketball is a sport, not a democracy. Merit-based. When there's someone who's obviously the top athlete on the court, a person who able to make pictures for herself and other people that you feed and that no one else can make. Give the ball to that player and leave the approach. Examine Clark's performance at Iowa. Lisa Bluer's reading and response. The system was ideal for her as it permitted her to apply her basketball acumen, her ability to see the court, make snap judgments that other players are unable to make it. She averaged more than 8 assists in each match while obtaining 28 points as a result of the method. Made the most of her strengths rather than attempting to conceal them. Yet in this motion offense, essentially Clark is being requested to participate in her own offensive of the team. She should move the ball, play screens, and bide your time until the mechanism to generate her chances, rather than providing chances for both herself and other people. It's reversed, unproductive, and for good reason. Lin Dunn had to say something, and let's discuss the impact of this. The second year of Clark's growth. This is said to be the year in which she moves forward, from Rookie of the Year to where she goes to MVP contender, but she's trapped, making an effort to understand a system that doesn't appropriate for her skill set while handling the annoyance about being unable to play the way she's confident in her ability to play. Numbers don't misrepresent what occurs. When is Clark permitted to operate the offense? While she's playing, she has the Fever's ball in her hands.